Hello, this is Rancat. Hello. I'm going to do a little demonstration on using Gimp, which is a free application. You can download it off the internet. It's a good alternative to Photoshop or Illustrator, and I am going to talk this fast and I am going to work this fast. Because this is the internet, I don't have to go, oh, click there, and then up here you can see there is an eyedropper, and if you click that and if go to subject and then select and then tools and then options, I ain't going to work like that because this is the internet. You can pause it and go through it really slowly. You can go through this as slow as you like. Here's a nonsense image that I've made. It's a bunch of junk, and it's made up of a background, which is the pyro sitting in that room. Then I've added loads of elements like the girl with the gun in the background, the Campbell's Andy Warhol image of tomato soup. I've added a barcode. There's a flammable sign here, and there's sort of blurs, and there's lightning and flare effects, and there's text, and there's a logo. All right, so all these elements I've kind of added, and I'm going to show you how to make this. If this is all a bit too simple, then what you're watching for? There you go. I'm actually doing this to help people in our clan. We've got a TF2 clan, Team Fortress 2 clan, and some people are into doing images, and I thought it'd be helpful just to make a little demonstration of how to do it. If you can hear trains in the background, that's because there are trains in the background. So apologies for that. Okay, so I'm going to shut this down and I'm not going to save it. Now here's my desktop. On the desktop you can see I've actually got some images already set up here. I've got the test pyro image. You can just drag and drop images straight into Gimp there, and it will open them up. Here's our logo. Now you can see that it's got a checkerboard. When it's got a checkerboard, that means that it is transparent, i.e. there is no background, which means that if you put this onto a web page, it will show the background of the web page rather than any background you've burnt into here. Here's our web page, and we've got an image here. This looks like it's fancy HTML created graphics. It's not. It's an image file, which I can just drag and drop with a transparent background, all done in Gimp. Oops, I don't want to move that over there. I want to move this over here. So I'm just letting you know. So, for example, I'm going to create an image. If I was to create an image for this site, then if I delete that because it's just going to repeat, I could grab this image, for example, drag it onto the desktop, move it into here. If I click the crop tool, I can select it and I can see straight away that it's 700 by 239. That just gives me an idea. Oh, okay, this website, the size of images is 700 pixels wide. That's how you work stuff out. Okay, so let's get started. Right. Oh, quickly, just this is really nerdy, but I do want to show people. I use Firefox, a huge fan, really like the add-ons. The two add-ons I like the most is something called Colorzilla, which is a color picker, and something called Reload Every. It means you can sort of sit there with your web page open on another screen and it'll refresh that web page every however many seconds you want it to refresh. Really good for forums if you've got people chatting. Color picker is this little, it puts this little icon on your thing here, which if you do a search for... I'll need that in a second, so I'll get rid of that. Colorzilla. And I'll take my caps off because I'm not shouting. There it is, a little eyedropper, and you can download it. What it does is that when you click it, it changes your, first of all, it changes your mouse to a cross, and it puts this black box at the top. And anywhere you hover, it will read the color from that web page. Oh. Really superbly brilliant. You can then choose that color, it copies it to the clipboard, and then in Gimp you can sort of, sorry, excuse me, if I just create a new and then want to paste in a color, I can just do that and then go paste, and there it is. Okay, and there's my pink. Cooler. So really like Firefox's color picker and the add-ons that people are making for it, all completely free. Screw you, Microsoft and Adobe. Hindering us in our creativity by asking for our hard-earned cash. Anyway, let's not get into capitalism quite yet. So I'm going to create a new thing, image. Let's get down to the creative bit, and I am going to first of all, start with a background. Now, I'm going to use this background here. Obviously, I've already shown you. You can do a search for anything you want. If I do a search for TF2 background pyro, the reason I'm putting background is I know that it will give me a list of desktop backgrounds, so I know there'll be really massive files. And if I click on images and scroll down, I should find my little pyro sitting at a table somewhere. There he is. So you just click on that, view the original image, and then and then you can drag and drop him onto your desktop. I'm not going to do it because I've already got it there. Why? So there's my background. Too big. It's too big. No, it's too big, but I don't care. I'm just going to use a bit of it. So first thing I'm going to do is just select it and move it into the right position. So I've chosen my selection tool, not selection, yes, selection tool. What's it called? Move tool. I'll click the move tool, just click on it so it's highlighted. It's highlighted as a layer there. And then when I go to press shift and then the right or left arrow keys, I can slide it around. If I press shift, it moves it around quite quickly. But if I take my finger off shift and just use the arrow keys, it moves it 1 pixel at that time. At that time. Okay, so let's get him sitting at a table there for some balloons behind him. And the next thing I'm going to add is, of course, a Campbell's tin of soup. Andy Warhol's Campbell's tin of soup. Pyros loves soup. There it is. Oh my lord, it's way too big. So that's now a layer. So, and it's a PNG, but even though it's a PNG, it's got the background there, the white background. So I want to get rid of that white background. So I'm going to go to first thing I'm going to do is resize this layer, scale layer. I'm going to make it 300 wide, and that looks more like the size of soup we want to work with. And then I'm going to sort of tidy it up. So I've chosen the wand tool there to select it. I'm then going to go to select invert because I want to crop around the edge, and then I'm going to go to shrink that. So what I've done is by inverting it, I've deselected the border of the white, and I've just selected the item and the data inside the white. So it's kind of done a search for this object here, and it's selected just that object. And then I'm going to shrink that by 2 pixels. And then I'm going to do Control X. I'm going to cut it out. And then I'm going to go layer, new layer. Okay. And paste it in. And it creates this floating selection layer. I don't know why it does that. But I'm sure somebody will write something in the something below to explain it. I'm going to delete the white thing. So now I've got my Campbell's soup tin without any white bits. So there's Pyro sitting there looking at his Campbell's soup tin. Now that soup tin looks kind of like it's just plonked there because it is. I'm not going to try and do lots of perspectives and create really fancy graphics, but I will show you basics. I'm going to add a drop shadow to that. So I go to filters, light and shadow, and then drop shadow. It's got like these default settings here of 4, 4, and 8. I don't care. Yeah, fine. And what you see, it's created a new layer with a drop shadow. So there's the soup, and there's my drop shadow, and it's kind of transparent. I'm going to make it slightly more transparent, like that. That's just by clicking on the layer and then moving that slider. And it's also kind of, I want it to go across that table, so it looks like, and as things get further away, the shadows get shorter. Well, actually, I don't know if they do or don't. Anyhow. So if you select the shadow and then you select that tool there, I can sort of change it. I can make it go further away. Make it so like the table's kind of flat, and then transform. And there it is. So then I bring my soup back down. Click the right tool. Oh, and look, the soup's now got a little shadow. Beautiful. And I can always just change that shadow. I can make it really dark or really light or disappear completely. Just make it just slightly subtle. Nice and subtle. Okay, so now I've plonked a tin of soup opposite the Pyro as planned. I'm now going to add my logo, or our logo, which is here. I don't know why it's asking to convert it, but I'll go along with that. Okay, so there's the logo. It's fitted it in beautifully. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Don't want to do anything to that. I'm going to add some text. Now, there is an episode of Seinfeld called The Soup Nazi. So I'm going to type that in here. Now, I've chosen this font here, which is TF2 build. So There you go. I've also typed it wrong. I always type things wrong because I rush. Too busy to not. And it's too big, so let's bring the font size down a bit. That should do it. That's fine. Oh, it's still too big. It's fine. And I'm going to add a little drop shadow to that. So it's highlighted, filters, light, drop shadow. That'll probably be fine. There it is, standing out a bit more, betterer. There you go. What else was I going to add? Sorry, I'm thinking on my feet here. I'm going to add a vignette. That was what I was going to do. Now, I appear to have deleted the vignette from my desktop, but if I remember rightly, I did a search for vignette, vignette.png, and I found this file here. If I click back, you'll see my search. So there's a bunch of vignettes available. So I just grabbed this one, view original image, grab it, drop it on the desktop. There it is. Move that to the side. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to drop this in, and it should create a new layer. Now it's created a layer just above the last active layer. You can just pick these up and move them. I can't do that because I'm using something called Snagit to record this, and there's a bug where Snagit won't let you move layers about in Gimp. Bizarre. So I've dropped the vignette on the very, very top, and I'm now going to use that same tool to sort of move it into shape. It's a real big file, so I'm not too worried about the resolution getting stretched or squished as a result of me doing this. It's going to be very Top Gear having these vignettes on it. And transform, and then it calculates it and it works it out. Now what it's doing is it's putting the vignette over the text title. Don't want it to do that, so I'm going to click the vignette and I'm going to move it down underneath the logo. There you go. All very, very excellent and very, very nice. I'm a huge fan of vignettes. I love them. Okay, so we're pretty much nearly there. Only thing I want to do is add a little bit of grunge to it. So if I select here, I could actually create a new layer. Let's create a new layer just above where I was selected. I'm going to move that down. I want this grunge to go underneath the vignette, actually. So now you're probably thinking, what's grunge? Well, if I take the paintbrush tool, now with the paintbrush, there's lots of different types of brush heads you can have. You can have them so they're like slashes, or you can click them here and you can see. You can actually download, say that you can make them birds. There's a bird, pretty pink bird selected by that color there. So let's just have a bunch of birds everywhere, or I can even paint with birds. I don't want to do any of that. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. But what I do want to add is maybe a massive streak of lightning in the background. Why do I do that? Well, I've installed some lightning somewhere. I've got lightning. I can put lightning. Here's lightning. Well, that's splatters. Hold on. Let me find lightning. Got plants. I design book covers for Kindle, so that's why I've got all these things in here. I just use them all the time. Where's my lightning? Is that lightning? Come on. Where are you? Ah, there you go. So this is a lightning. Now I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Yeah, that's going to be good. Look at that. So I'm going to position it there. And right, don't want it to be red. Control Z. Make it white. Oh, it's opened it in the other window. Make it white. Put it down there. Big streak of lightning, and I'll do a small one. And I can choose a different one because I've overused that a little bit. There's one there. Go in the other direction. Let's do a big one. There you go. Lightning striking his head. So there's some lightnings, and I can also put a bit of grunge in the foreground here. So I can put anything I want. I could put some plants here. Look. So if I choose white first, do it. This is where you can get creative, you see. So you do like a nice layer of white plants. and then you can add, change the color to green, and then you can create a bit of depth, you see. And then if I make same thing but make it slightly smaller. Actually, maybe not. Maybe slightly bigger even. Oh, it's too big. Way too big. Still too big. Too small. See, it's just really quite good effect, isn't it? For doing foregrounds, I also might want to add a little bit of just hashing and general nasty skateboardy grunge effects. There is some in here. And by the way, I'm just adding these to one particular layer, so I could create like a new layer now, which I'll just do, might as well. So that's all the effects I've added just now, and I've created a new layer. I'm going to add some more to this layer. Sexy girl with a gun. Do I hear anyone asking for a sexy girl with a gun? Well, there she is. Enjoy her. Enjoy looking at her. And what was I going to do? I've forgotten. I was going to... Oh, yeah, grungy effects. There's a ton. Oh, should we add a planet? Let's add a big moon in the background. Oh, no, we don't want that. Let's make it white. Actually, let's make it slightly blue. Moons are blue, aren't they? Oh, that's not. Don't look like a moon. Let's find a better planet than that. There you go. There's a planet. It's too big. It's too small. Oh, there's lots of planets floating around in the background. And obviously you can change the transparency of them. I don't like them. They're going to go. And you. But I really want to do this grungy effects. It's really nice. Is that the grunge there? That's smoke. I can't find my grunges. Oh, these might be them. Let's change the size. Yeah, this is them. That's the wrong colour though. I was going to do them black. So, it keeps opening this and the other thing. So, grunges. Big fan of grunges. Oops, a bit too much there. Just dirties it up, makes it look sexy. Now, I've gone over this layer, so I'm going to move it down below there, so the grass comes... So the grass comes above. There you go. So the grass is above my grunginess. You're getting the idea. Look, you can make it look pretty awesome. Obviously, the soup should be, the grass should be below. The soup should be below the grass. There it is. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun. There you go. There's a little tutorial on how to do stuff. Have I missed anything out? Oh yes. Oh, sorry. Let me just. If I flatten this image now, I'm gonna. I don't know if I do have to flatten it, but if I flatten it, it makes everything one layer, and then you can start adding lens flare, for example, and you choose where you want the flare to be. I'm going to put the flare on the girl's gun, and it takes a while to generate that, and then just watch here. There you go. Look, she's got a little flare coming off her, and you can add other effects. Gradient flare. That's this. These are more sort of planetary, and you sort of choose where you want it to go. Got on the corner of the tin. There you go. Add that, and it's going to create a big flare there. Look, and it's got the little bubbles coming off it. And you can choose different types of flares and have a bit of fun. Oh yeah, and something else that's really good idea to do is go to layer, new layer. Okay, get rid of this. Choose your selection tool. I don't know, let's keep that there. Do this, fill it in with black. Oops. Okay. Oh, I see why. It didn't create. There you go. So I've added that. Now, if you make that semi-transparent, it's a good way for adding sort of text information. And then you can add some text. do pyro for sale. Let's put this in bright yellow. Let's do it in my favorite orange. I'm a big fan of orange. And you can, and there you go. And you can sort of make that slightly darker or less dark if you want the text to stand out. Yeah, and there you go. That's how you can make images that are kind of right. And then you sort of just go to File and you go to Export, or then you go to Save As, and then save it as Test Pyro. As I say, I'm a big fan of saving them as PNGs. You can save them as Gimp files, so you can carry on editing them. Basically, once you've flattened it, though, that's it. You've lost all your layers, so just be careful when you do that. It's taking a little while to think about that. And if I shut this down, and there's my pyro. There's my crazy new image. Okay, there's a little tutorial in using Gimp. Have fun, be creative, and that is that.